Good afternoon, it's Gary from G&H Honey Bees. And speaking of honeybees, they're still collecting water from the, oh, it's almost drained. I guess there's been no sun today for the pump to work, so they've been taking water out of there. So the purpose of this video is I got thinking about my hive combine that I did, and I don't think I explained very well the process or the decision behind doing that. So this top box, which is sitting here, was on this stand over here as a separate hive. And they had killed their queen. Either she was sick or crippled or something. They didn't like her, they got rid of her. And bees will do that for the good of the hive. And they tried to raise a new queen, and apparently that was unsuccessful. And when I looked in there a few days ago, they were actually making more emergency queen cups, but there's no queen in there to put eggs in them, so there would have been no way for them to raise another queen. So I decided to do what's called a newspaper combined. And for the people that have never raised bees before, there's a reason why you do the newspaper combine. And what you do, if you look back at my other video, and I'll leave a link in the description below for the video that I did of the actual combine, you put newspaper in between the two boxes. Now this is a good queen rate hive here, small hive, and they've got a good colony. And there was a good number of bees still in here. I mean, they weren't dying out right away or anything, but without a queen, they would have simply died out, and that hive would have been empty. So, so what you do is you put a piece of newspaper on the top of this box. And if you see in my video, I had to use 2 sheets because the newspapers around here are rather small. But if you have a large enough newspaper, you can use a single sheet. And you put a single sheet on there, and then you cut some slits in it. Now, there's a couple of reasons why you do that. When you put the other box on the top, with the newspaper in between, you do not want full access for the top bees to get to the bottom bees right away. They could get the scent of the queen and think that she's not supposed to be there, and they could find her and kill her. And then you've got a bigger problem. So what the newspaper does, when you cut slits in it, it allows the queen's pheromones from the bottom box to filter up into the top box so that the bees get used to her scent. And that way it acclimatizes them to being with that queen. And so they won't have any aggression towards the queen, and there won't be a big fight in the hive over whose bees should be in the hive, because that's another thing that would happen with bees will start fighting each other. And so because the newspaper's in there, they have to chew their way through it, and that takes time for them to do that. So it usually takes, 3 to 4 days for them to chew holes into that newspaper. And while they're doing that, the bees in the upper box are getting more acclimatized to the queen. And once there's a big enough hole, then the bees can pass back and forth, and there should be no issues. So today I had a look took a few frames out of the top box and looked down, and sure enough there was a considerably sized hole in the newspaper. So I simply lifted the box off, took the newspaper right off, and did a quick check for the queen in the bottom box, and I found her, and she's doing fine, and she's running around looking for places to lay eggs. And so everything seems to be good. And so that's the reason behind why I did what I did, and the reasons why you put the newspaper in there. You simply don't want to plunk a foreign hive on top of another hive, because they won't know the scent of the queen, and they might just take offense to it and kill her. So, and the newspaper just gives them time to get used to her, and then they become integrated into the hive, and you have a much stronger and healthier hive. And so in doing so, I've saved that upper box of bees, and now the queen actually has more place to lay, and that should actually help the hive build up for winter. So, all right, so I thought I'd clear that up for you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching, and keep on watching. There's going to be more.